I was 10 years old when my ears finally awoke from a deep slumber that had characterized my life for the better part of a decade. It seemed that for the first time, I could hear. It was as if someone had suddenly torn down a barrier, and in its place lay an unobstructed path of neurons, eagerly waiting to connect sound to consciousness. I was sitting at the dinner table with my family as we ate my dad's infamous noodle soup. I always used to read at the dinner table, but that night, I could not concentrate. As I turned the page to the Harry Potter book I held in my hands, I heard it, the sound of slurping. Without warning, it seemed to penetrate the thick wall that had once separated my ears from the pandemonium of sound waves. The sound ricocheted off the contours of my skull. As soon as it reached my eardrums, I was angry in a way I had never felt before. It enveloped me in a tight and suffocating embrace and transcended what I once thought possible of human emotion. It took my whole being to stop myself from screaming. I could barely breathe, and I couldn't think. I desperately wanted the sound to stop. I stuck my fingers in my ears, clutched my book to my chest, and held on for dear life. But beneath the anger, confusion, and pain, I asked myself, why now? In the following months, the spectrum of sounds that elicited these uncontrollable emotions expanded to include chewing, swallowing, and smacking lips. I tried to explain the rage I felt, yet no one understood. They said, maybe you just dislike these sounds. To cope, I would cover my ears, desperately praying that the sounds I dreaded would not find their way to me. At home, my relationship with my family became strained. I avoided eating at the dinner table as much as I could. When I did join my family for meals, I imitated the sounds I heard to try and regain control of whatever sanity I had left. I got into petty fights with my parents who said, "You imitate sounds to provoke us," or "You just want attention." I felt frustrated, confused, and ashamed. I didn't understand why I felt this way, why these sounds nearly suffocated me. I craved silence. I was 15 years old when I first discovered the name of the condition that had rendered me helpless for the past 5 years. Hidden in the depths of a subscription email was the word for what I had once struggled so long to describe. Its name, misophonia. Derived from the Greek words misos, which means strong dislike, and phono, which means sound. Misophonia is the hatred of sounds. Those who have it experience a strong emotional reaction to certain trigger sounds, which can range from chewing to the tapping of keyboards. But for many misophonics, the reaction is the same. Unmanageable feelings of anger, an irrepressible impulse to scream, or a desire to flee. Medical professionals do not know how to classify misophonia. Some have resorted to thinking of it as a form of synesthesia, where a patient's sense of hearing is inextricably tied to underlying neurobehavioral processes. And while some consider it strictly an auditory condition, others believe it is a psychiatric disorder on par with obsessive-compulsive disorder. Researchers are still scratching their heads on what exactly causes it, and despite discussions to include misophonia in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Conditions, it has not happened yet, meaning effective treatments can be hard to prescribe. Though it's been 8 years, living with misophonia has not gotten easier. I keep it hidden, as if it is a scar I don't want people to see. Each day becomes a battle to push away feelings of self-loathing and hatred. My headphones have now become my best friend. I try to never leave my room without them, and I am prepared to whip them out to protect myself from the pain. But sometimes I cannot do anything. Sleep is perhaps the only haven I have. The only thing I can hope for is that today will be better than yesterday, and tomorrow better than today. And for the foreseeable future, this is my life.